Dear Diary, may the energy from this week bring many blessings to the weeks coming after. Welcome back to another week of my Creatives Audio and Visual Diary, and this one ends with a literal bang, so buckle up. Much of this week, I was preparing my mind, body, and home for a very small 420 dinner party. Although it is small, or was small, I still put a lot of detail into every single thing that I do. So no matter if I'm hosting 20 people or 4, I'm going to make sure that it's right. So I started my hair this night and had to quickly pause because I had to make a struggle meal. We had no groceries, so I had to pull some stuff together. But also, I just kind of wanted to spend time with Maurice that evening. We had a pretty busy weekend the weekend before, so I just kind of wanted to just chill out, eat some dinner, and watch the game with him. And since Leila was off for Good Friday, I had some time to finish my hair that morning, which turned into like a total girl sesh. She sat in while I was doing my hair. Girlfriends was on. It was the first time she had watched Girlfriends. I was skipping through a lot of scenes because it is still mature, but I really enjoyed sitting there watching it with her. It gave us the opportunity to talk through some subjects and, just have some girls' hair and makeup time. One thing that's been on my heart to lean more into when I'm throwing events or just doing anything creative is putting personalized touches on them. And recently, I've been thinking about making candle scents for each event. I love me a candle down and will spend a pretty penny on a candle on any given day. So getting into making my own custom candles actually helps my mental and my pockets. I had these depleted candle jars on my windowsill just as decoration. I just like to keep these things. I don't like to throw them away. They're in my favorite color, which is green. Well, one of my favorite colors is green and my other one is red. But I had them on my windowsill and I walked past them one day recently and I was like, I should refill these with a custom candle scent for my event coming up. They're green, which goes to the theme. And on top of that, they are really cute candle jars. I was like, that's a no-brainer. I'm definitely going to do that. When I was trying to think of scents, I wanted to definitely lean towards green or herby, but then I thought about green tea, and then that made me think about my matcha perfume, which is heavenly. It's my favorite scent to wear. And I was like, I wonder if there's a matcha essential oil. Boom, found it. And I was like, wow, this is actually literally perfect to have matcha green tea candles at the vibe. So at this point, I'm like, am I a candle making lady? I done found my perfect scents. I found this easy step-by-step how to make the candles super easy, super not stressful. And I was like, wow, like I can really get into this for literally every event, but not even just every event, just to freshen up the house every so often. Because I'm a candle girly. Like I do not let myself know peace without a candle being lit. Do you understand? Like I need the aroma, I need the vibes, I need the scent. It's just something about a candle that just sits me down immediately. If I had to be any type of hoe, it would definitely be a candle hoe. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I love candles bad. In order for this to be a successful weekend, I definitely had to cram a bunch of things in between a bunch of other things to make them work. Just like making those candles so they can be cured before the weekend, I had to fit in making dinner and fit in starting to prep the food. Like I made the salmon so that I can make them into salmon meatballs tomorrow, and then the next day I'll be putting them in the oven for the event. Because diary, I didn't even mention there's a whole lot of basketball happening this weekend. Not only is there basketball practice, but we're also in a basketball tournament, meaning Leila's AAU team. So they're in a tournament from Good Friday through Easter. This little 420 gathering was tentative because we did not know the times for Saturday. And I was like, well, if the game times are later in the day, I'm not going to be able to pull them off. Thank goodness the game times were earlier in the day, and they even pushed them earlier when they had to adjust the schedule, so it all worked out for me. I've learned that the day before being my prep day makes everything else go smoothly. Like getting everything just ready to go into the oven, cooked up into a point whereas, it's not cooked fully, but if I throw it in the oven the day of or the time of the event and it pops out, it's going to be fresh, it's going to be good. I want to cook everything up into that point or make everything up into that point to make it a little bit more easier for myself. So for this particular event, of course, that means making the base for all of the 420 goodies. So I made myself a can of butter and a can of oil to flip-flop between adding those into whatever dish, it is appropriate for. For past 420 events or dinner parties, I've added the can of oil or the can of butter right into the main dish. For this one, I want to back up off of that a little bit and add it into like the add-ons. So let's say I had a sweet chili oil or sweet chili sauce. I added it into the sweet chili sauce that would go on the salmon meatballs or onto the chicken. Or for instance, like the same thing with the deviled eggs that had the sweet chili sauce on it. Only thing that had it directly in the dish was my veggie lasagna rolls. I had it directly in the cheese, the ricotta cheese. I put it directly in there for the bacon and such, just because it wouldn't have been an opportunity to add it any other way. It just wouldn't have made sense for that particular dish. But as far as the other ones, whereas I can get away with adding it through a sauce or a topping, I did it that way. Diary, when I'm executing my 420 dinner party, it is so important to stay organized. I make me a list of tasks I need to get through, but also staying organized in a way of knowing what's infused and what's not infused. I always like to offer non-infused foods because there are people who just want to come and just not partake as much. Or you might have the serious munchies and you just don't want to go back into eating more infused food. So I always offer infused and not infused. So with taking that into consideration, I have to make sure that I am labeling everything. I know exactly what ovens everything is going to. I go as far as to not putting infused foods in the same oven as non-infused foods. Like, I'm very strict on that. I do not want to cross contaminate, make anybody high indirectly. Like, I'm very strict on setting up with these things. Another part of staying organized is having planned times to go out to get last minute things. They're not necessarily last minute things, but they are things I have to get at the last minute, like flowers, in order to keep them fresh. Which, why is Trader Joe's so bare at the end of the day with flowers? Like, is that a normal thing? I don't know. That was my first time going at that time to Trader Joe's to get flowers. But I was like, wow, it's so bare. I had to go to Whole Foods. That was so weird. But anyway, last minute things I have to get before the event, crucial. But I create me a calendar, well, not necessarily a calendar, but like a task list that has days and times on it, so I know, okay, at this time I need to be going to go get this. On this day I'm going to be doing this. Like, I have to be that detailed down to the day, and not even really hour, but I guess time of day, so that I can keep myself on track. But I must tell you, diary, even with all of that planning, if I chill a little too hard a few hours before the event, it will set me back, which this was one of those days. So I got home after Leila's tournament in the morning. Her last game was at like 12 something. We got back around 2 because we had to stop at Giant and such. And I was like, okay, let me sit on my computer, print out some things for some games, get some things in order, and I'll get up around 4:30. Well, that turned into about 5-ish, a little bit after 5, because I was running over with some things I was doing on the computer, like the menu and stuff. And now I'm running. Now I'm scrambling, trying to get everything done and at least somewhat cute before people knock on the door. And I'm stressing everybody out. I'm stressing Marisa. I'm stressing myself out. But as we all know, at the end of the day, it still was a vibe and still super cute. I was rushing so much that I was taking pictures and video with foil still on top of things. I was so disgusted when I reviewed my footage, like, Janae, oh my gosh, like, we have to slow down, or we have to create opportunities to have some more time so we're not rushing. And as always, it was a super bomb event. One of my most peaceful spaces to date. Like, I cannot complain. Like, we were all, I mean, just very chill, very mellow. It was a great night. But diary, the morning following that was literally Easter. And my child expected her basket to be ready for her to rip through however she pleased. So here I am at 1:30 in the morning, putting together her caramel latte Easter basket that I curated just for her. I'm big into gift giving, and especially for Leila, I just don't want to give her things. So I was trying to think of, what is she really into right now? Like, of course I can get her a basket full of candy and squishmallows and such, but I'm like, she really loves herself a decaf caramel latte, so why don't I just make a basket where she can make her own and have some snacks to go with that latte? And the girl was beyond pleased. I heard her ruffling through it while I was trying to catch some extra Z's. I put that sign on the refrigerator door, like, here, this is where you can find it, and also get yourself some food because mommy will not be getting up before 10 o'clock. She had a game that day at 1:30, so we had to head out, go straight there, and this is where the bang comes in. So y'all see how huge these girls are? And there were girls bigger than this that came off the bench. Well, my daughter's AAU team plays for the Puma circuit. They're sponsored by Puma. And all the other players and teams that were there this weekend were also Puma teams. Well, they don't have a fifth grade bracket at all. So we have to play in the sixth grade bracket. So we're playing up against sixth and seventh graders. Huge human beings, right? Well, Layla steps in front of this girl to take a charge who was like 4 times larger than her, falls back. The girl runs through her, like full force train. Layla hits the back of her head on the wood floor, immediately is done. Like, can't get up. So we pulled her out the game. Long story short, she had a concussion. She's all right now, guys, but it was definitely scary for a moment. If I learned anything through Layla taking that charge, is that number one, I'll never get used to seeing my child hurt on the basketball court. Never. But number two, life running through you is painful and hard. That's why I'm always going to choose peace. Until next time, diary.